Hello and welcome to Queendom TV. Today I'm going to be talking to you about why pyramid schemes are cults. Stay tuned. Okay, so basically, hello everyone. Thank you and welcome to my channel, as I said already. Pyramid schemes. I personally have had my fair share of experience with pyramid schemes, whether that be, and for those of you that don't know a pyramid scheme, basically, and here, by the way, please let's just say this now. I know this is going to sound very ironic, but I'm not always the best at explaining things in words. Crazy, I know. I'm a creative person, but, you know, I like to talk. So this is what I do, and this is what my YouTube is for, to just talk without, you know, fear of, like, you know, assessment and all sorts. So I'm just saying what I got to say, and I'm explaining things as best as I can to give you an idea. But realistically, if you really want to get a good explanation of what pyramid schemes are, then you need to go and search that. But I have had my experience both trying a few of them, more than one, or being contacted or going through the beginning processes of being in them. So my little introduction, my little explanation for a pyramid scheme. Basically, pyramid schemes are like schemes where everything works as a pyramid. So what you do, the more people you get working under you, doing so similar thing to what you do, you can all make money off of the money all of you are making, if that makes sense. So for example, if I signed on, if I'm selling, let's say, honey or honey products, that's what I'm selling. Now at the top of the pyramid, then if I'll have 3 people, let's say, working below me, and I'll get them to sell honey. If I can get them to sell honey, and if I can find 3 people to also sell the honey, then I'm going to make a certain amount of money off of each of those people's honey that's being sold, but then they have the opportunity to do that themselves. And that's kind of how you develop the pyramid scheme. And that's like a very, very basic explanation of a pyramid scheme. So in theory, it sounds amazing because it's like, well, if I'm making money, you're making money. And that's what a lot of people say, even in the pyramid schemes. But I kind of have an issue with the pyramid schemes, and I'm going to get into it because, like I said, I've tried them. So pyramid schemes. The reason why I feel like pyramid schemes are a cult is because it's very like, you know, like when somebody's trying to convince you something is good, but something in you feels like it isn't, but like with enough indoctrination, you kind of believe them. I kind of feel like that's what pyramid schemes are like, and that's why I feel like they're kind of culty. They give me like cult vibes because it's like, come here, bring us into this group of people with higher knowledge. And it's always that thing of like higher knowledge, like this is something that no one talks about. Even though pyramid schemes are quite common. Like I remember even speaking to my mum, and she was telling me about like how even when I was like around the time when I was born, there was pyramid schemes, you know what I mean? So it's not something that's new on the horizon, but I feel like because of the way people go about them, it seems like it is, you know, and a lot of the time, and that's why I kind of feel like it's kind of culty, because a lot of these things, when things need to be hidden, and maybe it's just my Christian senses tingling when I'm thinking about people trying to hide things and like, you know, convince you about higher knowledge and all of that, I find that a bit off. So anyway, a lot of the time, what you'll find is, and in the beginning processes of becoming part of a pyramid scheme, there's always what I kind of think of as like the indoctrination portion. And in that indoctrination portion, I feel like they do that kind of thing where they make you, it's like a reverse psychology thing. So they teach you a bunch of things, right? Or they say they're going to teach you a bunch of things because they have to make sure maybe you're capable or you're relevant or you have the right skills and tactics. And I feel like as human beings, whenever somebody kind of challenges you, as in like, well, you can do this if you can do it, like if you can prove that you've got what it takes, if you can prove you've got the drive, if you can prove you've got this, then this is a great opportunity for you. But only if you can prove it. I feel like that kind of instinctively makes people want to prove exactly what they're talking about, and also opens the door for indoctrination, because then you're going to be open. You now want to model exactly what they want you to be, and that's what you're going to do. You're not going to question outside of what they're saying. And I think this is one of my problems, because I'm very much somebody that like, I like to take in information. I love taking in information. I love research. I did a research at uni as well. I loved it so much, and I research all the time. And one thing that I like about research is that you then choose to do with that research whatever that research means to you, if that makes sense. So when they're in this indoctrination phase, I feel like a lot of the time they're gearing you specifically towards their business and what they want you to think and their principles. It's a very quick way. And I mean, they say this as well, like, you know, that in order to have a business, you have to be able to, like, if you want to like grow your business and have hundreds of employees or whatever, then you have to be able to kind of simply tell them the same exact thing to do. And then it has to be, what's the word? Like, they have to be able to replicate exactly what you're doing. Because if only you can do what you can do, then you're going to be the limitation of your business, which I think makes sense. But what I'm saying is, with these types of things, I feel like they always take it down that way a little bit, where it's like, yes, they're teaching you that, but they're only teaching you that in the framework of a pyramid scheme. And a lot of the time with these pyramid schemes, if you're somebody that's very persuasive, you don't really have to do much work. If you have like no sense of ethics, because one of my problems with this pyramid schemes was the first thing that they're basically going to tell you to do once you've got through whatever indoctrination phase and proven that you're whatever and showed up to however many Zoom meetings, whatever. I'm talking about this in, like 2021 terms. Then the first thing you're basically going to do is try to find other people, because you're not even going straight to try and sell the product. You're trying to find other people. And I think that for me is where the issues start to arise, because then it becomes, well, you need to try and push people to do this. I mean, I've heard people even say like, there was one pyramid scheme that I came across, and they made it, again, there's so many of them that pop up on these YouTube ads even, they make it seem like it's not a pyramid scheme, but it is. And there was one that I was looking into, and it seemed like it wasn't a pyramid scheme, but I remember even watching the video, and they always do this. They'll be like, if you put towards this amount of money in the beginning, then you'll get the basic pack, but realistically, you want to get the extra super premium pack, because that means you're instantly going to make £200 in the first week. And this is why they're selling to you something. And so you might put in, say, £2,000, because now all of a sudden, if you put in that 2,000 on day one of you putting on that 2,000, you're going to make 200, or they'll do the one where they say you're going to make it back immediately. You'll make it back immediately, which I'm not saying they're saying things that are incorrect. I'm saying the things that they are saying are nowhere near as easy as they are saying for them to be. And you very much have to be indoctrinated in them and what they do. It's very much you replicating what they're telling you to do. And you have to kind of cross boundaries with people in terms of ethics, because why should you, who has just got a product today, and this is one of my things, if I just started using this product today, why should I start selling this product? And they'll always try and tell you in the beginning, like, oh, but these products are amazing. They're the best. They all claim that they're the best in the market. They all claim they're the best in the market. I have a responsibility to the people who I would want to bring into this, to make sure I'm not just asking them to join on to anything that they don't know about and that I barely know about, that products I've barely used. But they don't say that they want you to ignore that, but that's what they're doing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they'll be like, oh, but these are the best products in the world, like so-and-so and so-and-so. If you just start using them as well, but you can start pushing them already, because I promise you these are the best. And it's like, who are you? And especially for me as a scientist, like, I'm like, who are you to tell me this is the best product? Do you even know what the ingredients are in this thing? But you want to tell me it's, and for me, that's a big ethical issue. I can't just be going around telling people to take something that I don't know what it is. It's the equivalent of me like cooking for someone. When I cook for people, I take that very seriously, because that food could make you ill if I don't, wash my hands properly, or wash, the things that I need to wash and everything like that, or cook the food through, or whatever it is. So I take that very seriously. And that's another reason why for me, it feels very culty, because again, it's like, ignore your I feel like internal instincts are a lot of the time, I believe God gave us our internal instincts. And that's why people say stuff like, trust your gut. People say stuff like, I just had a feeling, all of these kinds of things. I believe that's like, the seed of the Holy Spirit that God has left, that gives us guidance about things. And that's why I think a lot of people say they're affected by energies, because they can feel a certain energy. A lot of the time with these culty kind of these pyramid schemes, it's very much like they want you to be the person that blindly follows them. And I have an issue with blind following, because you should never have to follow something blindly. Like even Christianity, it's something that you follow and you have all the information before you, and you're allowed to question things. I know people don't talk about that, but it's the truth. Like in Christianity, you're allowed to question things. I ask God questions all the time about things, any and everything, because I believe I believe it's, for me internally of myself, I believe that you should not believe anything unless you are fully convinced and you are satisfied with the information before you that thing is truthful. And for me, that has already worked between me and God. And that's why I feel like I actually still believe in him, because I actually take the time to question and understand things for myself. And that's why I have an issue with the cults, I'm calling them the cults now, the pyramid schemes, because it's like you're being put in a situation where they don't actually want you to become the brains. They just want you to follow exactly what somebody else is telling you to do, and without a full understanding even of what it is. And even some of the times when they're explaining to you, like, how the money breakdown, they're like, they don't even want it. They're like, do you know what? Don't even worry about the breakdown of the money. Don't even worry about that, because guess what? You're going to make so much money. You don't need to worry about all of that. Just do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Again, You should be having all these things explained. If you're somebody that genuinely wants to help people, like a lot of them claim, like, we just care about people, we want to work with people, then you got to have meaningful work. I remember like one of my most recent pyramid schemes I came across, somebody reached out to me on LinkedIn. And part of it was that we had to read this book in like 10 days or something. And I read this book, and a lot of the things in this book were good, but a lot of the things they were kind of using to their advantage to kind of make it seem like, so for example, they would say stuff like, oh, your relationships are so important in business. If you don't care about the people you work with, then you won't be successful, which I agree with that in and of itself. But in the way that they were using it, they were kind of twisting it to suggest that, well, this is what we believe, so we care about you. And this is always the thing that scares me about people, is people can present to you whatever picture they want to. By them making me read that, again, it's indoctrinating me thinking, oh, this is what they believe. Oh, this is what they do. They care about people. I trust them. So I'm now going to trust them blindly rather than actually using my logic and my own research skills that God gave me and God gave us all to actually understand what's going on, if that makes sense. So I don't know. You guys tell me your thoughts. Please subscribe if you've enjoyed the video, and comment if you've ever come across a pyramid scheme. Please let me know if they've been successful for you. For me, they haven't been. A lot of the time I've invested some money in the initial products they tell you to buy. I've tried to reach out to people. I've tried doing all this stuff. The reality is, again, and this is again why I feel like it's one of those things that once they can swoop you in, especially if you have like the subscription type service where you agree to have, I don't know, a box of 8 of the products sent to you every month, it's very easy for you to actually not ever make that money that was promised to you in the beginning, still be putting money into their pockets. And then obviously if you get more people involved, you'll be putting money into their pockets. And even with that, again, it's one of those things where they keep the hierarchies. So you're never really just working that thing on your own. You can't just like get all the knowledge and then just start building your business how you see fit under the like guidelines. You have to be under somebody else who's under somebody else who's under somebody else. So it's a very, very highly controlled. I don't really trust that personally. And also I think a lot of people can't afford to just be giving out money for something they don't understand. I think it's very unrealistic in this day and age, especially where people are still so hell-bent and set on 9-to-5 jobs, to just expect that you're going to be able to just reach out to some of your friends and like 5 of them are going to pay £250 for something they have no idea about, for products they probably already have some version of, and just to trust you who barely understands what you're doing anyway. That just sounds very wrong, and it sounds very culty, because though it may not sound like a cult in the sense of like people all gathering together in a particular area, although they do their gatherings as well. That's the other thing, and they always tell you about that. Like, you have an opportunity to travel. They all do the opportunity to travel 4 times a year. We all meet up, everyone together. So it is very, very culty when you think about it. Like, very, very culty, and I don't like that. It didn't have to be that way. And so for me, I think I'm going to say no to pyramid schemes in the future. But yeah, thank you so much for watching my video about pyramid schemes being cults. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Please like the video if you liked it. Please comment anything you have to say, whether you agree, disagree, if you did know about pyramid schemes, if you didn't, if you feel like I'm missing something, let me know. And please subscribe. I'll see you next time. God bless. Bye.